Hello, it's Diane, and I'm going to continue working on the Boho journals. We're nearing the end. There's a lot of detail on each page, so even though there's only one signature in the journals, there's a lot of work going into those pages. I have 11 pages, so it's like 44 pages front and back when they're done. I think that's what the count was. So I'm going to try to do 2 sets of pages in one video because they're pockets. There's a lot of pockets in these journals. So this is what I did with the original book that I made, that I'm using as a guide for the rest of the books. So it's just a folded sheet of pattern paper. I didn't do anything to the back. It's kind of decorated with the tabs and the stitching from the other side, but there's lots of room for journaling here. So what I've done here is 2 pockets. There is a music paper pocket with a piece of the fabric and a piece of torn scrapbook paper, a crocheted trim tab, and then in the pocket is an image that I stitched coffee dyed paper and collaged a couple of pieces of the beautiful fabrics and this tassel. I think I got this tassel trim at a yard sale, and it's not vintage, but it looks good on that. And then on this side, it's just a piece of scrapbook paper that I stitched onto the page. It is not a pocket. The large piece is not a pocket. There are so many pockets in this journal that I just wanted to have this one stitched down, but I did make a little pocket with the photo on top. There's a little bit of trim here. Again, a tab with a bulb pin and a little bell, and then this just cut from the paper pad, and this is also cut from the paper pad, one of the little cut aparts. So that's what I'm doing for the first set of pages. I already did these. Look at that beautiful trim there. I still need to, this one does have a tag in it, but the other ones don't. So I'll need to put something inside the little side pocket. And then this one. So we have one more to do. I've got my pieces collected here to save a little time since I want to do 2 sets of pages today. I have a piece of fabric here, but I didn't tear scrapbook paper yet. It can't be very wide because I want the paper to show around it. So I'm just going to stitch around the paper and not the edges of the fabric. And then this pocket will be ready to sew onto the page. I don't normally put this much detail on each and every page in a journal, but these boho journals just seem to call for it. There's so much gorgeous material to work with. didn't use ink or anything on the music paper because it is vintage music paper. The good news is it's not raining today. I like rain, but we were getting in trouble here with all the rain. So it's not raining today. It's going to be a hot day. I think we're supposed to have some thunderstorms again. I don't know if they're there tomorrow or the day after, but for a couple of days we're supposed to have thunderstorms. Okay, so now on this, since she's over on the right side, I'm going to put the decorations on this side. And I think there, I have this. Now on this piece there's some sequins and there's also these gold beads, and when I sewed the tassel on one of the pieces, the tassel was covering one of those beads and I broke a needle. Looks like it might, I might have to glue the tassel on, or I could just, I'll just take, whoop, it just came right off. I didn't have to snip it off, it came off. It would be covered by the tassel anyway. And I'm using some of this sheer fabric underneath that. Just doing a little layering. Oh, presser foot knocked the other bead off. Must be because they were cut. The thread wasn't secure anymore, holding those beads on. Got my little tin of trims down by my feet. I've got stuff, whoops, sorry. I've got stuff everywhere. You don't have to do all this sewing. If you want to make a boho journal, you can glue stuff. You don't have to sew everything like I do. I just like the sewing. But the gluing would probably be quicker. Get that tassel out of the way. It's a large card, so there's still plenty of room for writing on the back. Alright, that page is done except for the tab. I had a piece of that lace cut for it. Oop. There it is. So on the other side, I have this word, and I just sewed around it to add a decorative edge to it, and I'm just going to glue that up there. And it's part of the cut apart sheet. There are a few cut apart sheets on that Recollections paper pad that I'm using. This image is from the Ivy Shutters kit, and I didn't look up the name of that kit, but when I do the flip through of all the completed journals, I will link things below, but I'm not going to link them on every Craft With Me video or process video, whatever you want to call them. So I'm just going to stitch this on, and this is going to be a little side pocket. I didn't backstitch at the beginning here, so I'm just going to do that. I should have backstitched because it's a pocket. I'll be pulling things in and out, and we want it to be secure. And now a little bit of trim. I was wondering if this would be too bright. I think so. Not sure I like that, but I like the colors for a gypsy journal. Well, let's see if I have a green or something. Whoops, I'm sorry. The tripod is right next to my knee. I don't know where I got this little green trim, but it's pretty. I think I'll use that. I'm sure those... Sorry, I had the pin in my mouth. I'm sure those rugged gypsy men like that pretty little dainty flower green trim. I stitched that picture on slightly crooked. And now I'm going to use messy stitch twice around to sew it onto the page. Messy stitch is just, I use a straight stitch and just kind of wiggle it around. It's not straight at all. And I go twice around just to prove, kind of show that I did it on purpose, I guess. Oh, I forgot I was using zigzag. I meant to use straight stitch, so I'll do it straight stitch the second time. So all I need for this now, oh, I have to put a tab on and something in there. So I'm cutting this piece up for the tabs. And I am leaving these edges on because I like them. These are quite stiff pieces to help hold it on there so I can sew it onto the page. I just stitch it up here a bit to kind of keep it folded like that. And I will add a bulb pin and a bell to this tab. I'll grab a bulb pin and a bell right now. I got a great big box, well not great big, but for bells it was a big box of assorted bells at a yard sale for $4. And I do have sets of these in my shop. So I'll just put it onto the bulb pin and put it on the tab. The pin has a hard time going through this thick fabric. And there we go. So, except for this little card, whatever card is going to go in there, this page is done. Moving on to, I think this is the last page that has a pocket. The other, we have one more page to do besides this, and that one has fabric flips. But this is a pocket, and I used this piece, and it had this attached to it, and I loved it. I left it there, and I like it hanging down off the page like that. It's a beautiful piece. And then I took some of this burgundy with gold and just put it on in, diagonally. Put this beautiful purple satin here with a piece of vintage pom-pom trim there. And here is a large side pocket made out of scrapbook paper with some of the Ivy Shutters images and a little beaded piece there. And this page looks extra nice when you put the tag in. It's got some buttons and sequins sewn on, and she just really complements the page. I don't know what, I haven't picked out images to go in the pockets because I don't know what colors I'm using and everything, but I do have some pieces selected for this page. I haven't worked on any of the other pages and the other journal pages for this. So anyway, it's a pink page, and I have this pink sheer fabric with beautiful sequins and some metallic embroidery. And since it doesn't have the lace hanging or the fabric hanging off, it's not much of a hang off there, so I just cut this beautiful piece of lace that I'm going to stitch on the bottom. And I have this piece to sew up here. Like I said, I don't have a card picked out yet to put inside. We'll just go with this. I don't know if it really matters which side is the right side. They might both be the same. Bobbin thread or something is stuck on the presser foot. Let me see if I can find an image to put in there. I think these would be too small unless I sewed them to a larger piece. I think I like her. I'll have to sew her to a larger piece. I probably won't do that on camera. I'll make her and add some buttons and sequins like I did to the other one. So I'll tuck her in here so I don't lose her. But I'll work on the large pocket now. So I used my... I forgot this. Gotta put this on. I was debating on whether to sew along this part too, but I think it's okay like that. So for these guys, I used my pinking shears that I got at the flea market for $4. It does not work on fabric, and they are hard to use even on paper because they hurt my hand. So I wouldn't be able to use them for very long, but I just cut along the edges of these pictures. Just for a little interest. And I just sewed, for the other one, I just sewed them on like this with a word over here. See if I have any words left. I could just put this tree here. I hope you're getting some ideas for different ways to use the boho fabrics if you've received or purchased any boho fabrics. Hopefully you can use some of these ideas in other journals too. Different types of pockets you can make and things like that, and how to decorate them. had a little scrap. Oh, here it is. Just add this on for decoration. To figure out where I want it. I think I want it there. That's cute. And I know some of you say that you don't want to cut your pieces up, but when you do cut them up, they go a long way, because I've used many pieces off of just this small piece of this fabric that I had. Just cute little embellishments and lips and whatever. Now all I have to do is sew it to the page and add a large tag. That slipped and it's more crooked than I want. The one piece that I said I put on crooked, it wasn't that bad, and it was a small one, so it didn't look so bad, but this is a large one and you can really tell. I'm taking out the threads. I need to hold it up to my face. And the trouble with doing it on paper is that you've pierced the paper and it leaves a hole. But I think that it will be covered, at least on this side. You'll be able to see it on the back side. But it's okay. It'll add decoration, right? Sorry about that. Could have had it all sewn on by now. So I'm not a perfectionist, but I do like things to look good. It is a junk journal after all. You shouldn't be perfectionists with junk journals. For example, this piece, I have trouble cutting them straight with the metal, because I have to alternate between scissors and wire cutters. So this is not straight, but that doesn't bother me. I hope it doesn't bother whoever purchases this journal, if it's going to be for sale, because 2 of the journals won't be. And I don't know, I'm just making the pages. They're not put into the covers yet, so I don't know which journals are getting which pages. Okay, I can't glue it down in the middle to keep it straight, because I want it to be a pocket. So I just have to try harder to hold it still, because the presser foot shifted it. Alright, now I just have 3 more of these pages to do. But before I do the rest of these pocket pages, I think that I will go ahead and do a craft with me on the fabric flip page. And that way I'll be able to complete the pages with my air conditioner on. So I'm going to stop this video because we're over half an hour, but I'll be back to do a fabric flip page.